Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Liberate Lunations. My name is Eleonora, and today we're going to be talking about the new moon in Aquarius that happens on January 31st for us on the West Coast, with its peak time of 9:44 p.m. for Pacific Standard Time. For East Coast and beyond, it'll be February 1st already. So this is a promising new moon. I mean, we have the ruler of Aquarius, which is Saturn, in its domicile of Aquarius. So it's a strong position to have, and this could be good for establishing long-term goals and plans. So if you did miss the first new moon in Capricorn, pretty close to the new year for setting your goals and intentions, this can be a really good one as well to do that. So without further ado, let's get into it. For starters, we have Sun and Moon in Aquarius, basically conjunct Saturn. Saturn, planet of discipline. We all know this: structure, boundaries. It's all about sustainability. And I think with Saturn in Aquarius versus Saturn in Capricorn is very much like future-oriented sustainability rather than like, oh, let's just do it this way because it's always been done. We talked about this in the new moon in Capricorn, but I'm saying it again. So this can be great for setting goals that require strong foundations though, and it'll be fruitful over time. I will say this again because a lot of people think that it's just like you, which it can be, that you want it and you got it. But with Saturn, it's dedication over a long period of time. It's not immediate gratification. These will take time. And if they are immediate gratification, then they will not pan out the way they're supposed to. It's all about tending to them with care and energy and just really, doing the things that need to be done over a period of time. Next up, we do have Venus in Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus. We did have this the last full moon in Cancer, but now both these planets are direct. So it means we can actually like kind of do stuff instead of just sitting there and revisiting the past and how was I treated and how did I do different and how did I do this. Now it's just like, it means like, let's do those things that we thought about doing, that we should have done, that would have gotten a better result, but I was scared of doing it because I didn't know, or I was scared of stepping out of my comfort zone or whatever it is. Now, hopefully we know better. We have some insight. We did the meditation and the job that needed to be done, released the things that we didn't need to do, the things that did not make us feel good, the things that were not good changes. So I don't know, get a little frisky, step out of your comfort zone. I mean, Venus is money, so don't play with your money like that. Next up, we have Mars in Capricorn, sextile Jupiter in Pisces. I am honestly all here for this transit. It might be a little like, wow, but we have Mars in Capricorn where it's exalted, which is basically treated like royalty. So it has extra power. It could be decisive, it could be meticulous, it can be super goal oriented. And sextiling Jupiter, which is in one of its home signs, Pisces, it can help bring necessary kind of structure to a skeleton of an idea that Jupiter and Pisces might come up with, because Jupiter in general is very much about the big picture. It's like, oh, what if we did this and all this? And Mars in Capricorn is thinking of like, okay, how can I execute that and that and that and that and put a structure to that and do this? So I think it's a really nice kind of even though it's earth and water, I feel like this is a very fiery aspect by nature. I don't know why, but it can basically bring a grounded, intangible idea or energy from like a creative, spiritual perspective into like a good, solid idea. Last, we have Mercury retrograde, which it slid back into Capricorn, conjunct Pluto. So anything involving Pluto is very intense and transformative. So being with Mercury, the planet of our mind, of communication, of how we think, I think it can help us go within and really like deeply analyze and think and reevaluate how we speak, how we communicate even without words to people, how we react to things, our thought process on things, our triggers on things. It's like, what needs adjustment? What triggers do need to be examined, and we need to get to the root of, to be able to not even be like, get out of here, but gently tend to them and start the healing process. Because I think a lot of people talk about Pluto being destructive in such a bad way, but it's like, you need to destroy in order to rebuild. If you're not willing to get ugly, how are you gonna know what pretty is? You know what I mean? In a subjective kind of way. Like, I guess Pluto conjunct Mercury retrograde, what can you discover about yourself that's gonna help you gain some sort of perspective for new things that you want to put out, new intentions, new goals, new patterns, new customs, new whatever it is. I think this is not a really light aspect, is really for, it's like, if you want to go deep, you have the chance to do that. All right, next we're gonna pull a card. Just energy we can rely on. Oh, one just flew out when I said that. For this new moon in Aquarius, what energies can we lean into? What messages do we need to hear right now? Good. All right, we got Leo. And we got Aries. Let's start with Leo. Funny, because it's right the opposite. It's right across from Aquarius, so it's very opposite nature of like, interesting. Well, maybe we have to think about ourselves and not... I'm not saying in a bad way that Leos just think about themselves, but it's very like Leo, it's the sun, it's the center of the solar system. It's very much about us. What do I want? What's my passion? What gives me drive? What makes me want to wake up in the morning? Anytime I see Leo or the sun come up, I'm just like, what is that passion? What is that drive inside me? What does she want to do today? So maybe it's just stepping into that power, into that self-confidence, into that creative power too, of like, this is what I'm gonna do, and I have the necessary tools. And not even like, if you don't have the tools right now, that's not even a factor, because you're putting out the intentions. It's like, what can I do? You can do anything, and you'll get those tools when you're meant to get those tools, and you'll work hard for those tools, because that's a part of manifesting. It's like, you want something, but you also have to work for it. So you have to gather these things in order to make it possible. The first thing I see is Aries, the destroyer. So, okay, we're off to a great start. Symbols are the number 3, daggers, adder, not sure what that is, torches, and golden apples. Wow, okay, so in a reading, it says, we're feeling jealous and angry. These are both healthy emotions, but don't let them consume you entirely, or you may not be invited to the party. It might feel satisfying to lash out in the moment, but if you channel that anger into something more productive, you will yield much better results. Aries can also point to transgenerational trauma and its effect on our daily lives. We carry the stresses of our ancestors inside of us, and this shapes our responses to certain triggers on a cellular level. These traumas can be on an immediate family level, but also a societal level. Remember that the things you are feeling are valid. This is really nice, and I wish we had this message back in the full moon in Cancer, because I kind of talked about this. But yeah, it's like, I think it said it all, because again, like, all these nasty feelings don't have to be just nasty. You know what I mean? They can have powerful and transformational results if we can use them, if we can channel that energy correctly, if it's allowed, or if we allow ourselves, because we're all in different situations. And I like that. The keywords for this are anger, strife, bitterness, karma, vengeance, reflection. So really, let's try not to step into that, but just to use this productively and as best we can. For crystals to recommend, I'm gonna recommend both Sunstone and Aquamarine. Sunstone, which is funny, it's Sun, Leo, great stone for confidence, self-confidence, to overcome like fear of being seen as well. Great for self-work and self-worth. And Aquamarine just helps us dive into our emotions, is a great throat chakra and heart chakra stone. So you kind of are working with this a lot, this lunation. So it can help you speak out your emotions, your true feelings, your true thoughts, plus giving out comfort energy. I get this with Aquamarine. Every time I see it, I already feel comfort because of the color. It's like, well, it's Aquamarine. And Aquamarine can also help with emotional turmoils and, traumas. So I think those two stones are great. As always, with events to recommend, make sure you check out the description box down below with all of our events for this new moon in Aquarius. As always, we're gonna end the video with recommending a book, which is my favorite thing. This is The Big Book of Practical Spells by Judika. I don't know how to say her last name, Eels, but I don't want to mispronounce it. But Judika, she has a lot of books about spells and herbs as well. I wish I had some here to show you, but I love her stuff. And this is really like everyday spells. Let me read it. Like earth spells, how to work with all the elements, like the colors, animal totems, minerals, working with your dreams, and then all these like divination spells, beauty spells, fertility spells, money magic, all that good stuff is all on here. And her stuff is legit. She's really good. So I'll link this down below if you guys are interested. All right, guys, that is it for this new moon in Aquarius. Let me know how you're feeling. I want to check in with you guys. How are you doing? How's 2022 treating you so far? This is our second new moon of the year, our second new moon in a Capricorn, in a Saturn ruled sign. So we're all about setting up those goals and those long-term goals and intentions and plans for this year, hopefully. And if you're not doing that, that is also cool to just chill out and let it flow. So yeah, I'm happy you're here. I hope you're healthy, and I am sending everybody much, much love, many, many blessings, and have a very happy new moon.
A reading is shared time and space with someone who is spiritually connected.
An opportunity to get clarity and reassurance, guidance on any area of your life that you may feel stuck or not in flow with.
So readings are basically extremely helpful for you to make decisions that needed to be made.
For having clarity on life's questions, healing, empowerment to move someone from fear to being empowered.
When you're feeling stuck, when you can't answer the question yourself, when you find yourself in a little bit of a spin out.
I don't think there's anything that a reading is not good for.
The perfect time for a reading can be any time.
We are constantly changing, so we are constantly coming up against obstacles or reoccurring patterns that we need to check in with.
When things just feel really heavy and dark, and you might be a little confused about some of the things on your path, maybe certain relationships or opportunities.
So we all have blind spots. So when you find yourself in a blind spot, that's a really good time to get a reading.
So readings are good to check in to find out where your progress is through the eyes of someone else who's holding you in the highest good for all concerned.
Change is always good ultimately, and sometimes it's hard to see that, and readings bring you back to that center of what it's for you.